Hi all, how are you? I am back once again with the problems to your solutions. Today we will cover the back exercise of chapter Food Security in India of Economics class 9th. So let's initiate our session with the very first question. That is, how is food security ensured in India? So basically food security is ensured in a country when the three dimensions of food security are taken care of, that is availability, accessibility and affordability. Now food security has been ensured in India because of the following factors which will I discuss. Number 1. Self-sufficiency of food grains. India has become self-sufficient in food grains as it was since independence during the last 30 years. This has been because of a variety of crops grown all over the country. Second, food security system. The availability of food grains has been ensured by the government with the help of a carefully designed food security system. This system involves the maintenance of buffer stock of food grains. And third, implementation of several poverty alleviation programs like midday meals and food for work. Moving ahead to the second question, it is, which are the people more prone to food insecurity? So, people who are more prone to food insecurity are number 1, landless people with a small piece of land or no land at all. Second, traditional artisans. Third, self-employed workers. Fourth, impoverished people including beggars. And fifth, other than the economic division, women and elders are more prone to food insecurity. And lastly, people affected by natural disasters who have to migrate to other areas in search of work are the people who are more prone to food insecurity. Discussing our third question, it says, which states are more food insecure in India? In the above question, we discuss about the people and here we will discuss about the states. So, answer to this is the economically backward states with high incidence of poverty are more food insecure in India. Such like the states of Uttar Pradesh, mainly the eastern parts and southern eastern parts, then Bihar, Jharkhand, Orissa, West Bengal, Chhattisgarh, parts of Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra account for food insecure people in the country. Moving to the fourth question. Do you believe that Green Revolution has made India a self-sufficient in food grains and how? So talking about the Green Revolution and how it had made India a self-sufficient, so we should know that in the late 1960s, the Green Revolution introduced the Indian farmer to the cultivation of high-yielding variety seeds, that is HYV seeds. The HYV seeds led to a growth in the productivity of food grains, especially the wheat and the rice, thereby helping India attain self-sufficiency in food grains. Secondly, India has hardly faced a famine-like situation after the implementation of Green Revolution. Also, increase in the production of food grains has also helped in increasing the export over the last years. And moreover, less dependence on food import or food grain import has helped us attain some diplomatic independence as well. Moving to the next question, question 6, it says, what happens to the supply of food when there is a disaster or a calamity? So we all know as and when there is a disaster or a calamity like earthquake, flood, drought, tsunami, widespread failure of crops that causes famine, then the food supply declines because of the less availability of grain. Secondly, food requirement increases because many people are ailing or hurt owing to the calamities. And to supply the food grains, buffer stocks are used. And fourth, the victims have to rely on government support and relief programs to make the ends meet. Moving ahead to the seventh question, it says, differentiate between seasonal hunger and chronic hunger. Discussing about seasonal hunger is related to cycles of food growing and harvesting. मतलब food grow किया, harvest किया, grow किया, harvest किया. This is a prevalent in rural areas because of the seasonal nature of agricultural activities and in urban areas because of the casual labor. This type of hunger exists when a person is unable to get work for the entire year. That means he or she does not have a permanent job with her or him. Moving to the chronic hunger, it means it is a consequence of diet persistently inadequate in terms of quantity or quality. Poor people suffer from chronic hunger because of their very low income and in turn inability to buy food even for survival. And I hope now you have understood the differentiate between what is a seasonal hunger and a chronic hunger. Now discussing the 8th question, it says, what has our government done to provide food security to the poor? And also discuss any 2 schemes launched by the government. So the government has ensured the availability of food grains with the help of a carefully designed food security system. This system involves the maintenance of a buffer stock of food grains and the distribution of this food through public distribution system. And now discussing about the second part of the question, the 2 schemes launched by the government are number 1, Antyodaya Anna Yojana. The scheme was introduced in 2000 and is meant for the poorest section. It was decided to give 35 kg of food grains every month to this section of society, that is the poorest section of society. And according to this scheme, the price of wheat and rice was rupees 2 and rupees 3 per kg respectively. The second scheme is National Food for Work Program. The scheme was launched in November 2004 and it caters to 150 most backward districts of the country. Its objective is to intensify the generation of supplementary wage employment, and it is a 100% centrally sponsored scheme, which means the food grains are provided to the states free of cost. Discussing the next question, it says, why buffer stock is created by the government? So, a buffer stock of food grains is created by the government so as to distribute the procured food grains in the food deficit areas and among the poorer strata of society at a price lower than the market price. A buffer stock helps resolve the problem of shortage of food during adverse weather condition or during periods of calamity. Discussing the next question, it says, we have to write a short notes on the following. Number 1, minimum support price. So, a minimum support price is a pre-announced price at which the government purchases food grains from the farmers in order to create a buffer stock. The minimum support price is declared by the government every year before the growing season. This is done because it provides incentives to the farmer for raising the production of the crops. Second is buffer stock. It refers to the stock of food grains, namely wheat and rice, secured by the government through Food Corporation of India, that is FCI. The FCI purchases wheat and rice from the farmers in states where there is surplus production. The second note on which we have to discuss is issue price. The food grains procured and stored by the government are distributed in food deficit areas and among the poorer strata of society at a price lower than the market price, and this lower price is known as the issue price. The last part is the fair price shops. So, the food procured by the Food Corporation of India is distributed through government regulated ration shops. The prices at which food materials are sold at these ration shops are lower than the market price. This is why these shops are called fair price shops. Moving to the next question, it is, what are the problems with the functioning of ration shops? So, answer to this is, problems of the functioning of the ration shops are, number 1, poor quality of food items because of malpractice and incompetency shown at the time of procurement. Second, to get a better margin, the shop owners divert the subsidized grain to open market, which renders the supply highly irregular. And third, cheating illiterate customers by measuring less using fraud weights and measures. And fourth, three types of ration cards distribution also cause some issues. Fifth, the opening schedule of ration shops is highly irregular, which causes issues. And the last question for today is, write a note on the role of cooperatives in providing food and related items. So, while discussing it, we should know, along with the government, cooperatives are also playing an important role in ensuring food security in India, especially in the southern and western parts of the country. The cooperative societies set up shops to sell low price goods to the poor. Out of all the fair price shops running in Tamil Nadu, around 94% are being run by cooperatives. Some more examples are Mother Dairy in India or Mother Dairy in Delhi, providing milk and vegetables. Similarly, the Academy of Development Science, that is ADS in Maharashtra, has been involved in setting up of grains bank in different regions. Thus, through these examples, it can be seen that cooperatives are playing an active role in the distribution of food and related items. And with this note, I would now like to take your leave, and if you like the video, then do press the like button. Till then, bye bye, take care, thank you.